drop it and get it left. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's meter it. See, come look in here. There's one right there. Perfect. And that's about 1 inch under the hard soil. I think we're gonna leave it like we have it, 20,000, 22,000 seeds per acre out there. Brought to you in part by Deep River Sporting Clays. Safe, fun, family entertainment. And by these additional sponsors. I'm just really excited with how we're doing it this year and just how much of a bumper crop of this crimson clover we've got in the fall feast blend here. This crimson clover is about 15 to 18 inches tall, and it is thick and lush and full of nitrogen. 1 week later since we were out here tilling and terminating the clover, and a very interesting observation, I'd say about 80% of it mission accomplished, where we did lay it over and we crimped it in a fashion that did kill the plant, certainly most of the grains, a lot of the clover, but there are a few areas where it was thicker clover where I think it did just lay it down and didn't fully terminate it. I'm not too worried about that because it's an annual and it's going to die off with the summer heat anyway, and the biomass is not so thick that we can't plant right through it. But there's been a slight change of plans. I was not able to source my 90-day field corn. So that means the clock is ticking. I was only able to get my hands on 110-day corn. So now we have to plant way ahead of schedule. So it is April 12th and we are planting our corn. That'll have corn maturity right at July 31st if we can get that 110-day field corn in the ground today. So big change of plans for us. We're gonna have to plant 2 weeks quicker than we anticipated it. And we have a second problem, and that is going to be soil moisture and rain. We've got 10 days of dry weather coming. We do have some soil moisture down in here. When you get down in here, soil gets a little darker. It is cooler with a little bit of moisture down in here. Hudson, you can feel it. That way I'm not a liar. Yeah, it's cooler, a little bit wetter. Yeah. So we do have moisture down in here underneath all of this decay, but I'd much rather have a little bit of rainfall out here to moisten the ground up, or at least something in the forecast. But unfortunately, I've put myself in a corner here by not being prepared. So that is a huge takeaway, is think ahead, plan ahead, and go ahead and get the products you need sooner than just a week before. I have now put myself in a bind, so I'm gonna have to get my corn in the ground, and I don't have soil moisture. With that said, let's go strip the tiller off the tractor. The tiller is still on it from terminating this crop, and we gotta put the row crop planter on, test it out, see if we can get our fertilizer working, then we're gonna drill some corn. So this is going to be year 2 using our Cole 2-row planter here. We acquired this last year just in time to put the sunflowers in, and the sunflowers went in perfectly fine. It worked great, but the fertilizer hoppers were not working. So that was the off-season project, was installing these drops here, these funnels, and these aluminum boots here. These aluminum guards here to help keep the fertilizer in when it lobs out. So this is completely unproven. We have not even field tested this at all yet. And these quick hitches are so nice. Just locks right in. I should have got all this dust off of here because that dust is now all in the grease and making it hard. I think we've about got it here. All right. We'll wait to it. So I know it looks a little rough shape, but I was told for the age of this Cole planter here to even have these covers was a good thing. But right now, what I'm interested to see is the fertilizer. make sure it is not bound up. It needs some grease. Yep, we're gonna have to clean that up. I think it's bound up a little bit here. It needs some grease. That drive is spinning freely. Tells me the problem is down here at the wheel. And I do see a bunch of junk down here. We're swapping out our plates here, and they may look similar, but if you recall, last year I took one of my corn plates and actually JB welded in every 2 holes. So JB weld, skip 2, JB weld, and so on to bump down the population density because we were using this to plant sunflowers. I did not want my population as high as I would corn, and it worked out just fine. The JB weld held intact there, no problem at all. So we'll save these JB welded plates, and these are our sunflower plates. And then, of course, we have the unmodified ones for our corn plates. So that, make sure it spins freely. It's metering, it is. There we go. This is the drive wheel. Raylan, is it working?
Oh yeah, it's working now.
It's working?
Yeah.
Oh, heck yeah. Look at all that fertilizer piled up. All right. Oh, yeah, it's moving. Heck yeah. Dude.
Oh yeah.
Our little rig works. Well, this makes me happy to see our little rig here with the funnel screwed up and the aluminum sheet plate here, and then we added these rubber drop boots, and it is working. We got fertilizer passing through, so now in one pass, we will cut it, dig a boot, drop the fertilizer, come through, row plant our corn behind it. So let's get our hoppers put back on, put together here. It's time to go plant some corn.
Heck yes!
We're going to drop it and get it level. Right now, we're just going to make sure it's metering and picking it up. There it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
That's what it does on my camera.
See how it's metering? Hey, see, come look in here. See how it's picking up the corn? Follows that little hole. That's what we want. We got fertilizer dropping, corn dropping. We got our flat tire repaired. We got our drive wheel freed up and greased. I think it's time to go plant some corn.
Yeah.
Put it down in it and you see it falling. All right. We're about halfway done here. We're just checking on everything, and what we're running into is this drive wheel is catching a lot of thatch and not spinning. It starts dragging the surface, and so I have to lift it real fast and drop it again to get it to release the thatch. Every now and then it'll bite pretty good. Also drop the air out of my tires here to let the planter sink a little bit, but we do have a lot of corn going in the ground. We're just having some issues keeping the fertilizing consistent. But the fertilizer is working. We started with 100 pounds on this hopper, and we're down to about 15, maybe 20 pounds. So it's working perfectly. My little makeshift rig here, where it lobs out down to the boot, is working just perfectly. So let's see what we're actually accomplishing here. We'll pick any random row. There's one right there. Perfect. And that's about 1 inch under the hard soil and about another inch under the soft soil. So when it rains, it should put a little bit more soil back over it. So we're almost 2 inches in the ground. If we come right here, we should find another one about 6 or 7 inches away. And there it is right there. So that's about 6 to 8 inches away. We have another one, same thing, about 2 inches total down beneath this friable loose dirt here. Up there on the higher ground, we were finding some corn on the surface that wasn't going into the dirt. But as I just walk around and check right here, I think we're planting. Oh yeah, that's cooler soil moisture down there where this corn's sitting.
So it should have a good growth?
It should be good. Yep, some areas are planted deeper, which is fine. Corn can be planted up to 3 inches deep by some farmers. Gotta load up some more fertilizer, but man, I think we're doing pretty good. I made one quick adjustment. I had to go up to the house for a little while, but while I did that, I let some 3-in-1 oil sit down in here in all these joints, came back and spun it, and this wheel seems to be flowing a lot more freely now. So I think we just had a lot of junk and build up in there, because this last go round really put out the fertilizer pretty quick. So I'm actually gonna dial that back just a little bit, but we're rocking and rolling now. We're definitely metering the corn out. The population just seems a little bit low. But this is the BO16 Lustron planter here, or I'm sorry, seed plate here. I don't know a lot about them. I was told this is the one to use for corn, but it seems like we're not putting out a ton because we've got over half our seed left and we're over 2/3 done with this field. So because my population seems to be a little bit low, I do think I'm going to come back in here because these are 36-inch rows, plenty wide. I do think I'm going to come back in here and double plant between some of these rows, maybe over half the field to get a little bit more corn out. That, of course, would put some of my row spacing at 18 inches, which is kind of tight. So I'm not going to do that over the whole field, certainly. But I do want to try and double plant a couple areas and see how it turns out. Because I think between the terminated crimson clover in here and this fertilizing rate of 80 pounds of nitrogen per acre and 40 pounds of potassium per acre, I think we're going to feed these things pretty well. And I would like to get a little bit more population of seed put out in this field. The way I fixed my planting depth was taking air out of the tires on this planter and adjusting the top link just a little bit. Combined, the two seem to have helped it. So like I said, I just let down the air on these tires. That actually let the planter sink a little bit deeper. And then adjusting this top link seemed to let this boot dig a little deeper and drop the seed a little bit deeper in the ground. So the two combined seems to have worked out here. But we are certainly putting seed in rows and we are putting out fertilizer in those rows in one clean pass, which is of course way easier than disking it, seeding it, fertilizing it, and disking it again. The whole goal is to become more efficient out here. The broadcasting and disking method certainly works. We did it for years. We did it with corn and sunflowers. Can work just fine. But as we look to improve our efficiency and productivity out here in the dove field, certainly upgrading to the planter here that's got the built-in seed and fertilizer has really helped speed things up out here. Second year, still getting it figured out, still getting it dialed in, but I do think this planter, as rusty as it looks, has got some more life left in it. I mentioned it earlier, I'm going in here with 3400 high nitrogen fertilizer and then cutting it also with potassium and 0060, wherever it may be, buried in here somewhere. That is all based on our soil testing. The soil testing we did it for 2 years, anticipating a rotation of crops, and it said that we were potassium deficient and really high in phosphorus. So we're not putting any phosphorus in the field, only doing high nitro for the corn and then And reminder, all of our fertilizer has came from Country Farm and Home in Pittsboro. They have always got the cleanest, best quality fertilizer that I have ever found. Zero chunks, never had any issue with their fertilizer. Country Farm and Home in Pittsboro, North Carolina. Somebody asked the brand, Rogers Fertilizer LLC out of South Carolina, but I purchased this at Country Farm and Home in Pittsboro. Country Farm and Home is a huge supporter of the channel, so shout out to them for having really clean fertilizer at a good price. There we have it. We got the whole field row planted and fertilized. Just a drop of fertilizer left. We actually ended up with the perfect calibration by accident. The original setting on there actually worked really well. Put out all that fertilizer uniformly across the field once we got the wheel here freed up and spinning. So we got that all figured out. Just need to keep it greased. Definitely gonna need to clean this thing. It's real dusty. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna weigh out the remaining corn we have in these hoppers. This thing was up to the ridge here, and now it's significantly lower. They look about even, which is good. So we're gonna weigh these out and see exactly how many pounds are left over. Then we'll know how many pounds we put out in the 2-acre field. So that makes me feel a little better. This is not a full-size bucket. I thought this was a 5-gallon bucket, and I just put, I know 40 pounds of deer corn will fit in that. So I dumped it back in here, and there's not even half a bag left. So I know for a fact we have put out at least 25 pounds. If I'm guessing, we probably put out 30, and that's probably about 25 to 28 pounds remaining. I think we're gonna leave it like we have it. We have at least, I'd say about 22,000 seeds per acre out there. With the sun quickly setting, I didn't have time to get into all the details, but I did decide to go ahead and apply pre-emergence at the time of planting, going in with both Prowl H2O and Dual Magnum. Given the dry weather, I am a little concerned about how effective these will be. They both, on the label, require watering or disc incorporating into the soil. With no rain in the forecast, there is concerns over effectiveness, but I do have the ability to come in here and post-spray this corn with glyphosate after emergence if that becomes necessary. Given the dry weather and the hot sunshine, I do have some concerns over the fertilizer we applied, that we're going to lose it to the atmosphere through volatilization. We just don't have many options at this point. 110-day corn, we had to get it in the ground, and we had to go ahead and get our fertilizer in at that time of planting. So we will come back in here and assess it. We may have to top dress it with fertilizer after emergence once we've got some rain in the forecast. But I really appreciate you guys joining me for this video. If you have any questions, as always, please drop it down in the comments below. But until the next video, really appreciate you watching. God bless and take care.